Hi, welcome to the California State University Transfer Workshop. The purpose of this workshop is for you to better understand the transfer process to the CSU school system. So we will be discussing the different CSU locations, admissions requirements, Golden 4 courses, general education certification, major preparation, associate degrees for transfer, and important dates and deadlines. There are 23 campuses in total throughout the California State University school system. It is the largest four-year public university system in the U.S., and with nearly 100,000 graduates annually, it's the country's greatest producer of bachelor's degrees, with more than 1,800 degree programs and in about 240 subject areas. In order for you to meet minimum transfer requirements, you need to have completed 60 transferable units, and the important word there is transferable. And you need to have completed your Golden 4 courses with a C minus or better. We will discuss further on in the workshop what those Golden 4 courses are. And then finally, you need a minimum transferable GPA of a 2.0. Now, these are minimum requirements. For you to be competitive, you want to strive for a higher GPA as well as doing more than just the minimum requirements. So as I mentioned in the previous slide, you need 60 transferable units. So what makes up these 60 units? Well, it's a combination of your general education and your major preparation first. If you complete your general education and your major prep and you add up all those units and it equals 60 units or more, then you're good. You meet your requirements. But let's say you've completed your general education and you've completed your major prep, and once you add up those units, it comes out to 54. Well, that means you're 6 units shy. And that's where we will tell you to take 6 units of elective credits, which are transferable courses and anything that you want, just so that you can meet those 60 unit requirement. So how can I tell if a course is transferable or not? Well, if you go to the course catalog and look up the course description, at the bottom of the description, if there's an area that says transfer credit and it either identifies CSU or UC, that is how you can identify if a course transfers to the CSU or the UC school systems. So for an example, this biology course on the left side of the screen, at the bottom of the description it says transfer credit, CSU, and UC. So I know that that course transfers to both of those school systems. On the right side, this English course, at the end of the course description, there's nothing there that identifies this as earning transfer credit to either one of those school systems. So therefore, I know that this course does not transfer to either one of those school systems. Here at OCC, you have two options in order for you to complete your general education. Option 2, which is the CSU general education pattern, should be used if you know that you will not be applying to the UCs, that you're not interested in the UC school system, you're solely focusing on the Cal States. The reason why I say that is because this general education pattern only works for the Cal State school system. Option 3, or how we also refer to it, is the I GETC general education pattern, should be used if you're looking to apply to both the CSUs and the UCs. Or if you're unsure if you're going to want to apply to the UC, you should always go with option 3, because anything that's on the third option, I GETC, will be also on the CSU pattern. So let's say midway through your time at OCC, you realize, you know what, I solely want to focus on transferring to the Cal States. Well, that pattern still works for you to transfer to the Cal State school system. Okay, the best way for you to utilize the GE is to understand that every area needs to be satisfied, and the courses below are your options in order for you to fulfill those requirements. And once you complete your general education track, whether that's the CSU pattern or the I GETC, you will receive a certification, and the CSU will recognize that you have fulfilled all your lower division GEs. So you will solely focus on your upper division courses once you transfer to that CSU campus. The main difference between the two options is that between option 2 and option 3 is that option 3 you need to complete every course with a C or better. Now for the CSU, you can complete courses with a D as long as they are not one of the Golden 4 courses. So what are your Golden 4 courses? Your Golden 4 courses are comprised of 4 areas. First, your oral communication, your written communication, your critical thinking, and your math. Those are the 4 areas. First, oral communication, second, written communication, third, critical thinking, and fourth is math. So let's use the CSU GE pattern on the left side of the screen as an example. A1 is your oral communication. Right below that are the courses that you are able to take in order for you to fulfill those requirements. So you have 2 options, Communication Studies 100 or 110. The written communication, there's only one option. Therefore, every student takes the same course in order for you to meet the written communication requirement, and that's English 100. Below that is your critical thinking. As you can see, you have multiple options to choose from, but you only have to select one to fulfill the critical thinking. Finally, area B4, which is your math. In college, math is dependent on 2 things, your major and where you're trying to transfer to. So some majors have multiple math requirements. However, once you've completed your first college level math course, you have fulfilled this area in your general education and have fulfilled this Golden 4 requirement. And as you can see right there, all of these must be completed with a C- or better for the CSU GE pattern. And on the right side, the I Get C, everything, as I mentioned earlier, must be completed with a C or better. So, how do I figure out what my major prep courses are? The way that you will figure this out is by using a website called assist.org. If you have not been acclimated with this website, I recommend that you get acclimated to it. So what you will do is you will come to assist.org and you will list in your courses. First, you will identify the campus in which you're transferring from, so that would be Orange Coast College. And second, you would list the campus in which you're interested in transferring to. So for an example, if you were to wanting to see what the courses required for me to transfer to Cal Poly Pomona, I would type in Cal Poly Pomona. And then you would select the major in which you would like to apply to once you transfer. So let's say I want to be a business major and I want to do accounting. I would select that option and then I would say view agreement. And then here gives you a articulation agreement between Cal Poly Pomona and Orange Coast College. So everything on the left-hand side is going to be courses at Cal Poly Pomona, and everything on the right side is going to be the courses that are equivalent at Orange Coast College. So if we scroll down to the major requirement, you will see courses over here, as I just mentioned, are the courses at Cal Poly, and these are the courses that are at OCC. So this identifies as what are the courses that they're looking for me to complete before I transfer. Now, some schools have courses that need to be completed before you transfer, and other schools have recommendation of courses for you to complete. It is strongly advised for you to complete as many courses as possible, regardless if they are required of you to transfer or not. And the reason why I say that is because the more courses you take at OCC, the easier the transition will be for you to transfer to that 4-year school, and you won't be spending any of your time taking courses at that 4-year school, paying the cost of those classes that you could have taken at OCC. So once again, assist.org is the website that you will use in order for you to see what are the courses that I need to take before I transfer. So, I got a little pop quiz for you based on what information I provided with you earlier. Pete the Pirate completed his CSU GE certification and his major prep courses. He has a total of 45 units completed. How many elective units does he still need to be eligible to transfer? Okay, what is the answer? 15. Because as I mentioned earlier, the minimum requirements needed for you to transfer are 60 units. So if you answered 15, you were correct. So here is a quick tip. So, what is the most important thing for you as a transfer student to complete? First and foremost, your Golden Four courses. You must complete your Golden Four courses in order for you to meet admission requirements. So, that is first and foremost important. Second is your major prep. The schools want to know that you have prepared yourself for the major that you have applied for, and the best way to identify that is by taking as many major prep courses as possible. Third would be your general education, because once again, if you fulfill your general education requirements at OCC, you are GE certified, then you will only have to focus on your upper division courses. So you want to have as much completed as possible so you would have minimal requirements to earn your bachelor's degree once you transfer. And finally, elective credits if you need. Now, another important thing for you to focus on are your grades. Unlike the UC application, there are no personal insight questions. So your admissions is solely based off your courses completed and your GPA. So the more courses completed and the higher GPA, the more competitive you will be when it comes time to transfer. Okay, ADTs are associate degrees for transfer. This is a transfer program that has made it easier for community college students to transfer between the community college and the Cal State school system. It stands for an associate degree for transfer, and these are a 2-year degree that you earn at the community college, and it has some benefits attached to it. Those benefits are if you complete either an Associate of Arts for transfer or an Associate of Science for transfer, you will be guaranteed admission to the Cal State school system. Now, this does not mean that you are guaranteed admission to a specific campus or major. It's guaranteed admission to the CSU system. In addition, you will get a zero point 0.1 GPA advantage when you're applying to a similar major as your ADT. So, if you're applying and you have a 2.9, but you earned an associate degree for transfer and you applied to a Cal State under a similar major, then your GPA would be reflective as being a 3.0. Now, this does not show up on your transcript or in your application, but when your application is being reviewed, it is being reviewed with that zero point 0.1 boost. And what ADTs are available at OCC? These are the current associate degrees for transfer that are offered at OCC. So I advise you to take a second and see if you can locate the major that you are working towards right now and your intended major that you're trying to transfer to for that 4-year school. If you see that your major is listed there, it's a good idea to bring this up when you meet with your counselor next to see if this is an option that you should pursue. And here are the application dates and deadlines for the different terms. So as you can see, there's winter, spring, and fall deadlines. Now, not every CSU is open for winter or spring, and it's not even a guarantee that any campus will be accepting applications for winter or spring. However, it is a guarantee that every fall, every CSU campus is accepting applications. So these are the dates and deadlines that you would need to remember when you would be filing your application depending on the term in which you're applying for. Thank you very much for attending this online workshop. I hope you found it very informational. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to the Transfer Center. And thank you very much.